Hi, welcome back. Today I'm here to start a brand new book recommendation series of videos. As you guys might know, I read a lot of fantasy. It is probably my favorite genre, so I thought I should make use of that and curate a series of recommendation videos for different types of fantasy or specific things that you might be looking for in fantasy. In today's video, I'm going to be recommending to you 6 fantastic fantasy novels that all feature main characters who identify as LGBTQIA+. This is going to be a combination of YA, new adult, and adult fantasy novels. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get into this. The first book that I have to recommend to you, and really I'm going to recommend the entire series of these books, this is Every Heart a Doorway by Seanan Mcguire, book 1 in the Wayward Children series. A wonderful series of little novellas. They're really easy to get through. They're based on this idea that portals to other fantasy worlds exist. Sometimes children who go through those worlds and come back to our world have a hard time adapting to being back. This takes place at a school, the School for Wayward Children, for children who are having trouble coping after coming back from a fantasy world, kind of like Narnia, for example. In this book and in this series, you do get a lot of really fantastic representation with characters who identify as transsexual, gender non-binary, gay, lesbian, bisexual. There's also fat representation in book 3. I just think in general it's a really great series. It's got great representation, but also I just love the storytelling. And the first book in the series features a little bit of a murder mystery. So I'm going to recommend Every Heart a Doorway and the rest of the Wayward Children series by Seanan Mcguire. Next, I'm going to recommend to you a duology. This is by the lovely Leigh Bardugo. This is Six of Crows. This is book 1. This is actually the collector's edition. It is set in her Grishaverse world, and in this duology, one of the main characters, Nina, is fat and bisexual, and she is a wonderful, fantastic character. This is a really great series if you're into heist stories. It's set in a magical fantasy universe, but this is really about a group of 6 misfits pulling off a major heist. I'm going to recommend to you the Six of Crows duology. And also, this same character, Nina, shows up in Leigh Bardugo's newest book, King of Scars. So if you're interested, if you like this, if you like what else you've read, there is more. The next book I'm going to recommend to you is one that is pretty dark, so reader beware. This may not be the book for everyone. If you want to hear more detailed thoughts on this book in particular, I do have a complete spoiler-free review, which I will link up above if you want to kind of know what this book is all about. But this is Black Leopard, Red Wolf by Marlon James. This is a African-inspired fantasy novel. It is a very, very dark African-inspired fantasy novel, so if you're worried about trigger warnings, again, go check out that review because you're probably going to want to know the content. But the reason I'm including it on this list is the main character in this book is a black gay man, and it is ownvoices. The author is also a black gay man. And so that sexual identification plays a really major role in this book. There is a lot of gay sex in this book and discussions of gay sex in positive ways and negative ways. But if you're looking for that kind of representation in a darker, more gritty adult novel, I would recommend you go check out Black Leopard, Red Wolf. Next, I'm going to recommend a young adult duology that I really love. I love the author, I love the world she has created. If you're looking for a fantasy series that is casually gay, I recommend you pick up Reign of the Fallen by Sarah Glenn Marsh, and the sequel to this is Song of the Dead. Reign of the Fallen follows a bisexual main character who is a necromancer. And like I said, the world that she creates is fascinating. It's this world where the dead are brought back to life and literally are ruling. It's crazy. It's really, really well written. It's the kind of thing I could almost see being like a fantasy RPG video game. It would be very, very cool as that. I have so much love for this series and for the storytelling. It also does get a bit dark. This is a book that deals with grief and addiction and the way that those things can sometimes intersect in really destructive ways, but it is a beautiful story, and like I said, this is a world that is casually queer. The main character is bisexual. It's not a big deal. There are plenty of other people in the world who are gay or lesbian or bisexual or straight, and like no one really cares. It's just kind of casually dropped in there. So if that's something that you're looking for where the main point of the story has nothing to do with the queerness that is found in it, I'm going to recommend you pick up Reign of the Fallen and Song of the Dead by Sarah Glenn Marsh. The next book that is on this list is Furyborn by Claire Legrand. I absolutely love this book. It is a epic new adult fantasy novel about 2 queens during 2 different time periods. and one of them is fated to be evil and the other one is fated to be the savior, and you don't really know which is which, and I just love it. I love the world that she's created. This is a book I plan on rereading before I pick up the sequel, which is coming out soon. This is going to be a trilogy, and one of the main characters, one of the queens, is bisexual, and that is discussed in a pretty casual way. There are also side characters who are gay and married. This is another one where sexuality is really not a problem in the world that she has created. So really, really good one. Again, a little bit dark, can get a little bit gritty, but I love everything about this. And the final book that I want to recommend to you today is one that I think more people should pick up because it is a beautiful, masterfully written book. And again, this is Own Voices for Gay Representation. This is Black Wings Beating by Alex London. This one came out in fall of 2018, and it is a really inventive fantasy novel about two siblings, a brother and a sister. The brother is gay, and like I said, it is Own Voices for that representation. The author is gay as well. But at its heart, this book is really about the complexities of sibling relationships and what it's like to come from an abusive household. He's created this really interesting, unique world where everything is based on falconry and birds. So political differences, religion, all of it has to do with what people believe about how you should interact with birds, how you should treat birds, and they play a really big role in this, which sounds kind of odd, but it's beautifully done. This is another one that I would like to return to and reread because I just think it's such a good book and I hope more people pick it up. There you have it. Those are my recommendations for 6 really great fantasy novels or series with main characters who do identify as LGBTQIA+. I know there is more than this, and so I'm going to ask you in the comments down below if you have other recommendations for people who are looking for this. Please leave them below, or if there's things that you think that I should pick up, because this is something that I'm interested in expanding what I'm reading. Hopefully this was helpful for some of you guys who've been looking for new recommendations. Let me know if you guys have read any of these, any of your thoughts. Going along with that, for your question of the day, recommend to me one of your favorite fantasy novels that feature characters who are part of the LGBTQIA+ community. Keep in mind, this is the first in a series of fantasy recommendations videos. I'm going to be doing lots of different ones. If you have any requests for other fantasy recommendations that you would like to see me do, some kind of a category, let me know in the comments down below, and I might put those in my list of videos to get to. If you guys like this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you want to see more. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.